Because of why I search the deep through endless nights, no time to sleep. The call inside I can't deny. I'll find the light because of why.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're taking a closer look at the United Kingdom. It's a pretty small island nation, right? But its ideas, its stories, and its inventions have, and this is no exaggeration, completely reshaped the world we live in. You hear this phrase thrown around a lot, a cultural superpower. It's a really bold claim for any country. So what's that actually about? Is it just a nod to its powerful past? Or is there something to it that still rings true today? All right, so let's really get into it. We're going to unpack that whole idea, from the UK's massive influence around the globe to the little quirks of what it's like to actually live there day to day. So, first things first, let's look at what the UK puts out into the world. We're talking about the ideas, the stories, and the sounds that have shaped global culture in some really deep and fundamental ways. Think about this for a second. The whole concept of the modern novel, a long story that follows an individual's personal journey, that was pretty much pioneered right here. With books like Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe, Britain didn't just write some great stories. It kind of helped write the instruction manual for a whole new way of telling them. And the list of writers is just, well, it's mind-blowing. You've got Shakespeare, who's basically a cornerstone of all Western literature. You have Jane Austen and her razor-sharp social commentary, Dickens exposing the grit of industrial society, and then you jump to the epic world-building of Tolkien and the absolute global phenomenon of J.K. Rowling. I mean, these people created entire universes that we all still get lost in. Okay, now let's switch gears to music. This is where you see this fascinating thing happen, what you could call cultural re-exporting. Back in the 60s, you had British bands that took American blues and rock and roll, mixed in their own unique style and energy, and then sold it back to the entire world, but even bigger than before. The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, they weren't just playing songs, they were leading a cultural revolution. And this points to something the British are really, really good at, organizing things. Look, they didn't invent kicking a ball, but they did write down the official rules for so many of the world's favorite sports. From the Premier League to Wimbledon, the frameworks they set up are now the global standard. All right, so we've seen what the UK sends out, but what's it actually like to be there? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the social fabric of the UK, the etiquette, the food, and, of course, the places where people just hang out. British communication can be a real masterclass in saying what you don't mean. A friendly casual, "Oh, you must pop in any time," is a lovely gesture, but it almost always means, "Hey, please give me a call before you show up." And if you ever hear someone start a sentence with all due respect, get ready, because they're about to tell you they think you're completely wrong. It's this amazing social code that values politeness above almost everything else. And here are a few other little things you might notice. Being on time isn't just a suggestion, it's a sign of respect. People apologize constantly, even if you bump into them. And the word cheers, incredibly useful. It's thank you, it's for a toast, and sometimes it's just goodbye. Now, when we talk about food, you can't get much more British than fish and chips. It's simple, it's delicious, and it's got these deep cultural roots. Even Winston Churchill knew how important it was for morale, calling it one of the good companions that helped get Britain through the war. And where are you going to enjoy a pint? Well, the pub, of course. For hundreds of years, the public house has basically been the community's living room. It's a place to catch up, to celebrate, to complain. It's so much more than just a bar. It's a pillar of British social life. This talent for creating systems and rules goes way beyond sports and culture. It just right into invention itself. The UK's history of discovery didn't just change the world. In many ways, it built the modern world we know. I mean, the Industrial Revolution literally started here, and these milestones, they're enormous. The steam engine powered everything. Mass-produced iron built the new cities. The railway connected them. Heck, even the simple postage stamp completely changed how we communicate. These weren't just British inventions. They were game changers for the entire planet. But what about now? If you look at patent data from 2021, the picture's a lot different. The UK isn't that runaway leader anymore. It's still a major player, for sure, hanging out in the top 10 or 15 in key areas, but the global stage is just way, way more crowded these days. A huge piece of its innovative power today, though, comes from its incredible universities. Places like Oxford, Cambridge, and Imperial College in London are just global magnets for the brightest minds and the most cutting-edge research. They're really the engine room for the UK's modern R&D. So that brings us right up to the present day. We've seen the historical strengths, but what does the UK actually look like now? Let's try to get a balanced view, looking at its big successes alongside its very real modern challenges. Let's kick off with a huge one, healthcare. Back in 2017, there was a major report that compared 11 high-income countries, and the UK's National Health Service, the NHS, was ranked number 1 overall. That is a massive point of national pride. But as always, that's not the full story. More recent reviews, like one from 2022, show a system that's under some serious strain. You've got growing waiting lists, major staff shortages. It really highlights how tough it is to maintain that top-tier level of service. On the other hand, a definite strength is its sheer magnetic appeal. The UK is still one of the world's top tourist destinations. Millions of people visit every year, with folks from the US, France, and Germany leading the charge. That cultural and historical draw is undeniable. And that appeal means jobs, over 1 million of them. But just like with the NHS, this industry is also feeling the pressure. The rising cost of living impacts everybody, from the tourists paying for their trip to the local businesses just trying to stay afloat. So, what we're seeing is a nation built on this incredible, world-changing legacy that's now grappling with the complex realities of today. Really, the question isn't so much about what the UK was, but what it's going to choose to become. Hey, if you enjoyed this little breakdown, do us a favor and hit that like button. Share it with a friend who might find it interesting. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. So what do you think? What's the UK's biggest strength today, or its biggest challenge? We'd love to hear your take in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay curious.